submitted an application to, he says 5 times, and that Forestry knew well that he wanted that lot, and that just there's too much telling me there's something wrong, and that there was an intent to deprive a tribal member of a lot to benefit a non-tribal member. And now what you have is the governor, Billy Nicholas, with a camp right next to Brian Sowers, and it's too much of a close connection here. So taking it all into consideration, that the camp lot lease regulations that the Joint Council adopted state that no non-tribal members can have lots, only tribal members can have lots. Taking into consideration that the 2 tribal constitutions state, one of them a township, you can't lease to a non-tribal member unless it goes to referendum, and one at Pleasant Point says you can't lease to a non-tribal member unless it goes to a public hearing. Given the fact that in September the Joint Council stated to the Forestry Director to work out an agreement with Brian Sowers and bring it back in a month, which would be October of '06. They didn't have a meeting in October, and he did work out an agreement. But it didn't get brought back to the Joint Council in a month, and it didn't get brought back to the Joint Council at any time after the September meeting. As a matter of fact, when it came up again in December, Billy Nicholas was defending Sowers, and so was Covey. And Covey made the statement that they have an agreement with Sowers. And in fact, they do have an agreement, but it wasn't brought back to the Joint Council, so they didn't seal the deal with the Joint Council. But after reviewing the record, this deal has not been sealed, not been approved by Joint Council. If it gets approved, it's wrong. It's against tribal law. It's against the constitutions. And Covey is a friend of Sowers, and it's obvious that he shouldn't be involved in this situation. It's a conflict of interest. And so is it, I think, with Billy Nicholas, because he has established a friendship, and the federal law also states that you can't lease without BIA approval to non-tribal members. So across the board, this whole thing is not right. They didn't follow protocol. At best, it's a real screw-up. At worst, there's a conspiracy, an organized effort to kick out a tribal member to favor a non-tribal member. And I think that I'm tending to believe that there was an organized effort based on everything that I found out. When I went down to the Junior Stream campground with Dale Covey, and I came back after that with Dale Covey back in August, Dale Covey told me that this whole thing has gotten out of control, and he's kept thinking, well, I think we do have a lease, Ed. I said, Dale, if you have a lease, I'd like to see it, because I don't recall any lease. As far as I knew, it was just access to the water so he can put his boat in. Dale says, no, I think we got a lease. I'll have to find it. So I waited for Dale at the forestry department when we got out of the woods, and I said, Dale, I'd like to see a copy. I waited, 10, 15 minutes, and he couldn't find it. A week later, Dale Covey faxed me a blank lease right here. First time I ever seen it, in August of '09. It says prepared at 9/25/06, DRC, Dale Covey. Okay, no signatures on it. Then in September of '09, just last month, tribal member faxed me this. Same exact thing, but it has signatures on it. Brian Sowers, 92506, and Dale Covey, 92506, signed it. Dale Covey couldn't even provide me with that. I had to get it from a tribal member. So there's a signed document leasing something, a piece of land to Brian Sowers. But this deal has not been sealed. I'm presenting this to you so you can make up your mind what you think is right. I've already made up my mind. Whether you think this is important or not, it's up to you. I think you should know what's going on out there on the trust lands. You should know what's happening with elected leaders that represent the tribe.